Hey creatures of the car world, Saban Speed Shop here. Today we're going to do an oil change on the 2015 Dodge Durango. Show you guys how to do a basic oil change. Check that out, see what's going on. Step one, run to the parts store, see what they got in stock, get some full synthetic oil. That's what I run in the Durango, and away we go on a little road trip. Next step, show you how to do it. So after our trip to the parts store, we made a nice bar of parts on the tailgate of the truck. Walk you through what we got at the store. Picked up, of course, oil. Again, this is Valvoline 5W20 full synthetic. It's what Durango recommends, and I also really like Valvoline products. Picked us up a filter. Wix filters, by far the best filters you can get.
Not sponsored.
Don't get anything else. A little brake clean for cleaning up. I got a full synthetic stabilizer. What that does is it helps the longevity of the oil. It also helps keep the engine lubricated if it sits for a while. Less noise on startup, that kind of thing is just better for the engine. I've always run this, have really good luck, especially if you're someone that doesn't necessarily change it when you're supposed to. A little bit of Rain-X 2-in-1 all-season bug cleaner. It's good for -25, and it's got Rain-X in it, so it makes all those pretty little dots on the window when it rains. Picked up some Berryman's B12 because Seafoam is getting crazy expensive. They wanted $11.99 a can. Got this stuff on sale, $3.99 a can. This is also the place that blew up in Rockton. I don't know, must be good stuff. Oh, PCV valve, that's for the old truck here. Show you how to change that. Really easy, good thing to do. Mine's starting to weep a little oil out of it. I picked up a couple wiper blades because mine on the Jeep have gone to crap. And I couldn't see last time it rained. Time to change them. Well, let's get started. Alright, so there's a couple of things that I didn't mention at the beginning when we were going through what we needed. A couple things you definitely need is a drain pan, a wrench with your proper size socket, or just open end or box end wrench. I use ramps when I'm doing oil changes, just a little more stable, a little easier to use. You can use a jack or jack stands, just make sure that you do those properly. They can be unstable if you don't have them in the right spots. You don't want the car falling on you. And also I use a creeper. Just makes it a lot easier to slide in and out of underneath the vehicle, which is where you're going to start. The first step before you go under the vehicle, makes it a lot easier to drain the oil, is all I do is crack the oil fill cap, which happens to be right here, but it's really tight. So, I have some vice grips here, and I just barely grab on and give it a little twist, and that unscrews, and you can just leave it right there, just let it sit on top. But what that does is it allows air to get down into the engine. It's not sealed tight, and it helps it drain faster. Next up, we'll go underneath the car.
Vice grips. They're named Vice, and you use them to grip things. This may look like an average pair of pliers to you, but it's not. Let's say you have weak boy hands like this. Well, you can simply put it in here and press down, and like that one girl you met in high school, it'll grab on and never let go. And let's say you're trying to grab different things, you can tighten it and loosen it. Vice grips, baby.
Alright, so what we have here is an access panel, and there's your drain plug. That's what you want to remove. And there's your filter, which happens to have a very nice drip tray under it, which makes it way easier for the oil. It just drips down into the pan with the plug. However, I crawled under here to show you how to take off this cover. It was missing. And I think it could have been because Danny ate it. Alright, so sometimes when you change the oil, the car becomes invisible. But that's not what really happened. So, I got underneath the car, and that nice little drain plug that was up there, well, it was stubborn and it didn't want to come out. So, got a big wrench. Didn't work. Got a bigger ratchet. Didn't work. Took out the torch. Didn't work. Still rounded the bolt off. Not only that, I used the torch only to later discover that it was a plastic oil pan. If anyone knows what happens with plastic and fire, it gets bubbly and weird. Good news is, didn't mess up the pan at the point where we can't go on vacation. But I did mess it up enough to where we're not going to change oil until we get back from our road trip. So, we'll skip the rest of the oil change for another day. We'll go to do some of the other stuff we had to do today. So we'll move on to changing wiper blades on my Jeep. It's really easy to change out wiper blades. I personally like these Bosch Excels in my Jeep. Again, not sponsored. But if they want to, that'd be great. But they have a really good rubber. They last a long time. So what I do is I pull them out of the package. Should have done this before. Now, on a lot of your blades, they come with adapters and crazy things. My Jeep does not require them. So what I do is pull the arm up, twist it around, there's a little tab, push it down, it comes out. New one goes on, up, down. And all you gotta do is pull it forward, and it will click, just like so. And the new one's on. So I'll show you how to do it again on the other side. When I do change out my blades, I also like to really clean my windshield. Helps the new blades in lasting, lets them adhere to the window better. And if you want to compare, this is what happens to your wiper blades. These are both Bosch's. You can actually see the difference in how the triangle is all wore out and it bends to one side. Where this one's much more soft, this one's crispier. You can just tell that this one is weather faded. So take it to the other side. Same thing, pull the arm up, push around. There's a little button to put underneath. Just push that up and it should just slide down. Sometimes they're pesky, like this one's gonna be. Because now I'm trying to show you how to do it. That's off. New one, nice, shiny. Goes up, goes in, snaps in, and goes down. There, 2-minute job, new wipers, you don't have to pay someone to do it. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is revisit a good friend, the Durango, who's being a pain in the butt today. We're gonna just do a little windshield juice. It's great stuff. Like I said, again, not sponsored. But the Rain-X I like because it makes it all beat up, makes it a lot better for driving and trips. So the first thing you want to do is I set it down, come in, pop your hood. Really easy. You just pull the lever underneath, pops up. And you reach around here, pinch your finger a few times, cut yourself, whatever you got to do. Voila, hood's open. So, on new cars, they draw nice little pictures for you in case you can't read. That is coolant. You do not want to put this in there. That is oil. I know it looks like a teapot, but it is oil, not tea. And this is a really, really squirty windshield. And that's what we want. Now, you can be fancy, get yourself a nice funnel, put it in there so you don't spill. I tend to just spill it everywhere. Or I try to be really careful and not spill it and still spill. Let's see how I do on camera. Look at that. I only spilled like 3 drops. Now most cars will take a full bottle and it's all the way empty. I think the Durango needed some because it's going to take the full bottle. And there you go. All you do when you're done, put this in the recycling. Always remember to recycle. And you shut your hood. Once you shut the hood, always pull up on it a bit just to make sure it latches because you don't want it to come off while you're driving down the highway. So now we're going to change out the PCV valve. It's just a tiny little valve that goes into your valve cover. Recycles some oil pressure, I don't know. But sometimes it gets a little leaky. So what you need is a little bit of brake clean and a PCV valve. Nothing special. I like to have a rag. Set that there. Look at this junk. No! Anyway, this is a lot easier to open. You just reach here, lift up, and you open the hood. And what we're going to be replacing is right over here. PCV valve just sits right on the valve cover. As you can see, it's leaking a little oil. And all it does is unhook, pulls it right out, and untwist. And you can tell it's got some oil gunk built up. You can feel it. It's a lot heavier than the new one. It's because it's got junk in it. And what you do, this one lighter, rattles more, has less junk in it. Put that on, that squishes right down in the hole. And I just take a little bit of brake clean and just go. Perfect. And I just grab a rag, swipe it down. As you can see, it really cleans up that oil. There's nothing sitting around burning or anything like that. And it looks good as new. And then again, put this in for the garbage. I recycle cardboard. Shut your hood. Lift up, make sure it stays shut. And then you're done. Wait, what's he doing?
And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your stepdad tractor and drive it into the front of the truck. This is what you get for taking my Xbox, Cody.
Well, that's another saving speed shot. Ended up being a few tips. Wasn't that good. But that's reality. I screwed up. I didn't know there was a plastic oil pan. But it happens. Wish someone hadn't put it on so tight. Would have been a really easy job. Fun video to do. But that's reality. But what you do get from it is something that can be more valuable, and that's patience. Something I used to not have a whole lot of. There was plenty of swearing and cussing and trying to fight that bolt off, and it wasn't going to come off. The drain plug was stuck. But tried to find another solution, called the local shop, said, hey, you probably got better tools than I got, probably have a lift. Any chance you can take a stab at this and try to get it out for me so I can finish the oil change? He looked at it and he's like, yeah, it's a plastic oil pan. I don't want to crack it. You got a road trip coming up, so we'll take a revisit to this when we get back and figure out a solution, whether it's having to replace the oil pan or whatever it might be. Probably going to have that done. But at the same time, we learned that things happen, never goes perfect, and that's just dealing with cars. So instead, we got a couple other things done, picked up a few more things in the shop, did the cool little tips, tricks video on some of the basic things that you might need to do. It's really easy. You can save yourself a lot of money. I know a lot of places do free wiper blades and stuff like that, but it's a small victory. It's something you can do on your own, and it's rewarding to a lot of people when they do it themselves. So that's kind of more what today's video ended up being about, was learning patience, and it's the small victories. I got a few things done on multiple vehicles. I didn't get the one big thing done that I wanted to get done, but at the end of the day, we still got something done, and that's a plus. So again, subscribe, share, we really appreciate it. I got some other ideas flowing. Some of you have told me you want to see this or that, so I got a few things working up. I think there's going to be some cool videos, and hopefully I get some of you as some guests on the show, and we will keep our quirky, funny thing that we have here going. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
They're really great for, as the name implies, gripping things. See, it may look like your average pair of pliers, just to grab on something, but here's the thing. See this? You can tighten and loosen it. Well, tighten and loosen. Right side, left loosey. Remember, folks. So, but let's say let's say you have very weak hands like me, and the average pair of pliers won't cut it. Well, vice grips. Lock on.
Oh wait, cut. I made